Today we continue with our class Halachos of Brochos. Today's class number 15. And we start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim. Today's topic is vital information. So we continue the subject of Shiur. So it says, one who knows of a Shiur in the making and negative information about one of the parties has responsibility in certain cases to offer information without waiting to be asked. So very interesting. So he's a Shiur, he's being made, right? I mean, they start dating, let's say, or it was just suggested, whatever the case is, right? Probably maybe they start dating. If we just suggested, maybe you don't have to jump right in. Maybe they're not going to agree to meet to begin with. I don't know. I'm just saying, possible. Then it's possible that a person has to get involved, volunteer. Nobody asking, right? Step forward, basically. The commandment: do not stand aside while your brother blood is shed. Vayikra 19:16 requires one to volunteer information if he is aware that one party is in proposed match has severe physical, psychological, or spiritual shortcomings. So I'm going to read again. Has severe physical. So let's say he has or she has some physical issue and they're trying to hide it. They have no right to do that. They have to reveal it. Psychological also, maybe, I mean, there are many people who have psychological issues today. They take some medicine, let's say, right? Let's say. So if people can live with this medicine, I don't know, for 50 and 100 years, right? So there is and they would be normal. Sort of. I mean, I would say no. Let's say no. Right. So, but they have to reveal to another party that I'm taking this medicine, right? And the other party must decide: do I want to proceed or not proceed? Because person is sick. He's taking the medicine that contain him. Yes, that's good, but they must know, right? And the next one, or the spiritual shortcoming. Maybe he wrote in his resume that he's Shomer Shabbos, but he actually sometimes he goes to casino on Shabbos, right? So continue, which by objective standards can be expected to interfere by the marriage. I mean, without any exaggerating. That just saying this, it's already for many people would be showstopper, let's say. And this information is being concealed from one of the parties. So basically, you understand that one of this issue is present in one of the parties, and it's this party is not going to reveal to the shidduch. So you have to step forward. Once again, the condition which permits speaking negatively for constructive purpose must be fulfilled. So now we're going to go to conditions. So number one, the information must be first-hand and clearly stated, or as clearly stated as second-hand, not verified. So first of all, you must know, you I don't know, you saw this person acting crazily, and you ask him or you ask his father, whatever. So he said that that's what it is. He didn't take the medicine for 3 days now. So you know the information firsthand. You can say, or if somebody told you, if your brother told you that what I heard from his father, so that's so you have to present it as such. Was number one, information firsthand. Right. Number two, it must clearly be a problem by objective standards. For example, debilitating disease in the person or in the family, if it is hereditary. So meaning hereditary, that it's passed from generation to generation, which is a problem. So if 3 generations in her family had this issue, so most likely she's going to have this issue, right? Severe psychological disorders, so this hereditary, for example, diabetes or some other things, whatever, cancer, right? Whatever things is it, right? Hereditary. Then next one, severe psychological disorders. So as we said, many people have some disorders, some more severe, some less. Okay, but okay, so we say severe psychological disorders, violent tendencies. So if you're a neighbor with that person, right, you know that he kicks his brother 7 times a week. I mean, right? So he's a violent person, so you have to report it. Major problem is hashkafa, right? Outlook on the basic issue of Jewish life. So that's where we can basically, I think, put many people. Right? Problem is hashkafa, right? And what else? 1 second. So like David would fight, right? He would say this. People would say there's no gay, no. Why would you say so? Or these people say that there is no punishment, right? That's clearly an issue. And the people say there is no punishment or some other stupidity, right? Hashkafa. Next, an immoral lifestyle. So this guy is not serious. He has girlfriends and stuff like that. So basically, right? Or that does other immoral things, and not the matter of personal opinion. So basically, if everybody would agree, like according to society standards, this is immoral lifestyle. I don't know what is immoral, would be immoral in today's lifestyle, maybe in today's society. But it's a different question. Okay, so continue. And another matter of the personal opinion. So basically, the matter of the personal opinion that somebody is strict, so he cannot do this and that. But basically, in community, in society, it's not that like it's his personal opinion, basically. So you don't have to take this into consideration. If one feels certain that this is not what the other party wants, okay, he must also be clear that information is being concealed from another party. So I mean, if information is, if he knows, I'm not sure how, but he knows that the other party is aware of the information, so he does not have to volunteer, right? But if he not sure, he has to volunteer. Number 3, condition number 3. If it is possible to convince the party that is concealing the information to come forth with it, that would be preferable. I'm not sure how this guy is going to find out whether he's a friend or a neighbor actually volunteered the information. I think it's possible, but I think it's a preferred way to ask this. Look, I don't make me do that, but that's your responsibility. Just tell this girl, I have this and this issue, and see what she says. Maybe she said there is no problem. I don't know. How do you know? Number 4, the information is not to be exaggerated, and only that which is necessary may be told. That's a very important point. And so first of all, whatever you know, say. Don't use this crazy word like very, like always, like in the mind of the other person. He would think, yeah, that this is that's the worst person on earth. He always does that, but it's not true. So you saw him, I don't know, maybe twice in the past 6 months. So say, yeah, I saw him twice in the past 6 months. Don't say always. Right? So never exaggerate, and tell only which is necessary. So basically, I mean, if 2 examples would be enough, or 1 example would be enough, don't say like what was in the 3rd grade, basically. Okay, number 5. One's intent must be to prevent the harmful situation from coming about and not to denigrate the party spoken about. That's also very important when you have in mind that you should have in mind, right? To help people, to help to save another Jew from being harmed on another party. He or she, that doesn't make any difference, right? So you're trying to save them. And it's not about denigrating on the parties. Maybe you don't like this guy, right? Maybe this, maybe that, but it should not be your objective. So if it would be your objective, that's the problem, right? If you want to take revenge against him, that would be a problem. In some cases, you would not be allowed, even all of these conditions are true, you would not be allowed to talk about this person. That's a big issue, right? Moreover, there must be a real possibility the information conveyed will not be ignored, so that the constructive purpose will be realized. So I'm not sure how. How you can make sure, maybe like in my mind, right? His example that I had, right? Maybe we're talking about when we're talking about a lot of money. So somebody, the sick person is very rich, and she's not. Let's say she's not so rich. So now they get married. So even if you're going to tell her that he's abusive and this and that, she's married for money. So basically, she does not care. She would get married anyway. So maybe that would be the example that they're trying to they're talking about. Number 6, no realistic alternative to convey the information directly can be found. So if you can do some like a different way, that's what you must do. Right, the different way, as you said, maybe come over to talk to him and ask him to tell you the truth, right? Okay. Number 7, no undue harm will be caused due to the information the party of problem. So meaning no undue harm, meaning he's going to just lose the shidduch and that's it. He's not going to get into prison, I don't know, thrown from his job, I don't know, something like that. Should there be a reason to suspect that the party, upon learning that it has been deceived, will denigrate the other party? Oh, that's wow. Denigrate the other party or seek revenge in some way, one should not get involved. So basically, if you know that side is violent, they have connection, they have this and that, right? So now that they're going to find out, this guy is going to find out that somebody was trying to take advantage of my daughter, he's going to destroy that person. So you're not allowed to get involved. So that's so all of the 7 conditions must be fulfilled, basically. Okay, stop here. So we continue Halachos of Brochos, but last, you want to ask something?
Yes, about this before we continue.
Yeah.
All is, let's assume all is successful and they match successfully. And what comes next?
If they may say, if you mean in general, not in this case, when somebody is trying to.
Yes, when they are dating 3-4 times and they decide they are
Get
okay,
married?
they agree both to.
Okay, so they get married. What is it? Yeah.
But there is any previous step like engagement?
No, there is no real engagement. There is some party they call word. Word, it's like word is word in English, right? So it's word in Yiddish, in English. So it's like an engagement party, like they call it engagement party, but it's only to announce, right, that they decided to get married. This boy and this girl decided this married, and we decided the wedding is going to be on July 15th, let's say, right? So that's all. But it's not real engagement. So when we say engagement according to the Torah law, so that's the time when he gives you the ring and she becomes his wife partially. I mean, she cannot marry somebody and another man. If she wants to marry somebody else, she needs a divorce, but they still live separately. That's engagement. But in our times, we all do in the same chuppah. All of the procedure, engagement, and marriage, we do all in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, all together.
And can they? I'm referring to what you have just told about this party announcing that they are getting married. What if they delay this date of the marriage?
First of all, this part is not obligation. You want to do it, do it. Don't want to do it. It's not a religious obligation. So people just get excited. That's finally. So now we're no longer looking. We found somebody, and we settle. So thank you very much. Everything will help. Basically, that's it. So that's people wants to share joyous occasion. That's it. But it's not necessary. But then they can delay. There is no problem whatsoever. But our sages, our rabbis say, do not delay. So if you decided to get married, you did your homework, you check his side, she checked her side. That's it. What is it? What is it to plan? 2 months, 3 months from now, 1 month from now, get married, and that's it. That's the proper way.
But can they live together before?
No. They're not allowed to. They're absolutely for like foreign people to each other. They cannot stay in one room, basically. There's a closed door, period. They're not allowed. Absolutely not. It happened many times. And Rabbi Reuven said that he was religious. She was. He said, "Come on, we're going to get married in 1 month. So let's be together, husband and wife." And she said yes. And guess what? After that, he said, "You know what? I'm not interested any longer." That's it. Religious girl. So you understand, the rules are very clear. Until you get married, you have nothing to do with each other. And they always also recommend, do not see each other before the day of marriage. Do not. So you decided to get married 2 months from now. Okay, you have your life. She has her life. She goes to the stores to buy her dress with her girlfriends. You go with your friends to buy your suit, whatever, to buy whatever you need, or the food, whatever you need. That's it.
So it would be for them to go outside and in public.
Yes, it's not forbidden as forbidden, but it's I would say it's not recommended. It's not going to end up good.
Okay.
So that's what it is. I mean, whatever sages say, that stays until the end of the days. They say it's not good. It's not good, basically. Okay, so we continue with Halachos of Brochos, and last time we said that we're going to switch a little to Mishneh Berurah. So it's whatever I'm holding right now. This book is Shulchan Aruch. I'll show you closer. Shulchan Aruch is Mishneh Berurah, right, in English. Hashem. Okay. So, and we started this Simon 168, and the topic was over which class of bread should one make the blessing? Contains 17 paragraphs. Okay, so we're going to paragraph number 2, and we're going to read. I'm going to read without commentaries, just Shulchan Aruch, then go back and see what Mishneh Berurah has to add. So it says, if there are 2 loaves, 2 whole loaves, in the same of the same species, right? Species of grain, in front of one, a large one and a small one, he should make the blessing over the large one. So basically, we said we're trying to establish on which bread he has to make the blessing. Now we say from same grain, right? Same grain, no difference. one large one, one small one, he makes the blessing on large. If someone has a half loaf of bread and that does not have whole and does not have whole loaf of bread, he should join the two halves together with wood in some 1 second, other article, so that it is not noticeable that they are joined, and they will then have the ruling of the single whole loaf. Okay, we're going to explain. One may join the two halves, two half loaves together in this way, even on Shabbos. Okay, so what does it all means? Let's see. So let's go from the beginning. This Mishneh Berurah. So it says, Shulchan Aruch says, if one has a two whole loaves of the same species of grain in front of one, one large one and one small one, he should make the blessing over the large one. Okay, so let's see. So everything is the same, the only difference in size. So Shulchan Aruch says clearly, you have to make a blessing on a large one, commentary. This only applies if they are both of equal quality. But if the smaller one, if the smaller loaf is baked from pure flour, whereas the larger one is baked from impure flour, one should make the blessing over the small loaf. So pure and impure, I mean, for us today, for people today very spoiled, and we have such a high quality flour that I think everything is pure. So actually, if you want to get this impurity with a brand, you have to pay, I don't know, much more. I think like maybe even 30% more for impurity, which is in olden days was opposite, right? So for brand, you pay extra. Okay, so the Mishneh Berurah says if the bigger loaf is from impure flour, smaller one is from pure flour. I mean same species, so you have to say blessing on a small one because the higher quality. Continue. If someone has two halves loaves of bread and does not have the whole loaf of bread, he should join the two halves together with wood. Okay, so let's try to understand. So somehow, I don't know, maybe a child or somebody like cut the loaf in half. Let's say it's not such a big roll, right? So he cut it in half, and let's say they cut it. They wanted to take these middle pieces. Let's say somebody was making. Actually, it's practical. I just thought about it. Somebody tried to do a sandwich, right? So they cut two pieces from the middle to make a sandwich, which these pieces are the same. Of course, he's not going to cut from the side. It's not that's not what he wants. Okay, so basically now he left his father, let's say, two halves. So this father can join two halves, right, and make it a whole, like halachically, it's going to be a whole complete loaf. That's what it is. They say join with wood. I mean, with what wood? I don't know, maybe toothpicks, right, or some things like stick inside, which is not going to be visible, and they say even on Shabbos. So let's see, commentary. Mishneh Berurah. The Maggid Avraham questioned this ruling, and is the opinion that on the weekdays it is unnecessary to be meticulous about this. According to Maggid Avraham, one should only do this on Shabbos, when dual whole loaves of bread are obligatory for the breaking of the bread. However, one must be careful not to make muktzeh wood for this purpose. The Ilya Rabbah is inclined to rule accordance with opinion of Shulchan Aruch. Okay, so let's try to understand what Mishneh Berurah just said. So he said that Magen Avraham said, so don't do it on Shabbos. I mean on Shabbos. I'm sorry, don't do it on a weekday because it's not necessary. So if basically, if you have one slice of bread, you don't have to go and search for the whole bread, right? So you make the blessing or whatever you're going to eat. But Shabbos is different. So how Shabbos is different? So we have a separate halacha on Shabbos, right? When you have to have 2 whole loaves of bread, 2 whole loaves, right, to make a blessing. So as manna, when manna came down from the skies, it was 2 portions of bread, right? It was for Friday, right? In Friday morning, it was for Friday and for the next day for Shabbos. So now, it's one of the reasons, or in commemoration of this, right, of this event. So we have 2 whole challahs. So basically, he had one, and then somebody like cut in half and did whatever as I described, which is, I think, practical scenario. So in this case, he has to fix, if possible, of course, this extra loaf of bread. But who was it? Yeah. So and Magen Avraham, very interesting saying, right? Is like he knew that we learned about Maki Bepatish. Maki Bepatish, we said, do not create new utensil. They say, how you create a new utensil? As one of the example, he said that take like a snip from a piece of wood, something like, and make a toothpick. So they say it's not allowed. So that's exactly what Magen Avraham said. Don't make new utensil. If you had a toothpick before, okay, you can stick it in one side and another side, combine it, no problem. But if don't create something new. Continue. So 1 second, let me go a little back. So he should join the 2 halves together with the wood or some other article, as you said, so that it's not been non-noticeable that they're joined. So meaning do it from inside. Commentary, Mishneh Berurah says, if it is clearly noticeable that the 2 halves were joined together, however, they are not classed as a single loaf, whole loaf, as follows what is stated in section 368. We're going to get to it, right? So, Beezrat Hashem. So they say if it's only like from inside this toothpicks or something like that inside, no problem. I'm not sure what else can you can use to keep these 2 halves together. I'm not sure. It should be sharp from 2 sides to stick into one side of bread and to another side of bread. I'm not sure. Knife, basically, for sure you cannot use. I'm not sure what else. Okay. So Mishneh Berurah says if it's not noticeable, it's not going to work. Okay. One may join the 2 halves together in this way, even on Shabbos. Okay. I mean, as Magen Avraham said, that's the only when you should do it, but on weekdays not necessary. Okay. Commentary. Mishneh Berurah. Nevertheless, as one has another loaf, which is altogether whole, he should not perform the breaking of the bread with the joint loaf. So basically, he says if he has another loaf, I mean maybe even frozen loaf, right, in his refrigerator. So do it on another loaf, right? Or maybe he has pita or some other bread, which is whole. So you use that one instead of combining this one. Okay, so we finish with that. So next, Shulchan Aruch number 3, so Sif number 3 says, if 2 loaves of bread are stuck together from the baking, and the bread has been cut from one of them, and the other remain whole, it is better to separate the cut loaf from the whole loaf, so that the whole loaf will appear whole, rather than to leave it stuck to the whole loaf, even though the whole loaf will appear larger if it is left attached. Okay, so now we go to Rima, which is a gloss, right? Rima Ashkenazic authority. One should not break off the pieces to be eaten, following the blessing from the place where the loaf was stuck to the other loaf. We're going to explain. Since it looks as if it is a started loaf, started loaf there, but should break it off from the whole part of the loaf. Okay, so a lot of information. Let's go line by line with Mishneh Berurah. We're going to figure what it says here. Be'Ezrat Hashem. From the Shulchan Aruch from the beginning. If two loaves of bread are stuck together from the baking, so I mean, if let's say it's smaller loaves and she would put them together on a pan, and they would just like when they rise, when the bread rise in the oven, they can easily, like, even though she put, like, I don't know, maybe like 2 inches space between, I don't know, 1.5, 1 inch, whatever space between them, when they rise, they can touch each other. There is no problem. And now they were baked like that, meaning attached, even though those are separate loaves, but they are still attached. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with here. at least in the first case scenario. So one more time. If two loaves of bread are stuck together from the baking, and the bread has been cut from one of them, and the other remain whole. So basically, so we have like a picture. So I think it's 1.5 rolls, 1.5 bread. So one whole, one that is stuck to that, and from that the one that is stuck to the first one, they cut half, or let's say one third, whatever they cut, right? So, but it's not whole. It is better to separate the cut loaf, right, from the whole loaf. So Shulchan Aruch said, even though they baked like this and they got attached in the stove, still there's 2 separate loaves. So better, Shulchan Aruch said, better to separate them right now, even though it would be smaller. Before in the Simon, before we said that it's better when it's bigger. So no, let it be whole, and let's take off this half piece, right? Okay, so that the whole loaf will be appear whole. So whatever, right, as we said, right, rather than to leave it stuck to the whole loaf, right? Even though the whole loaf will appear larger if it is left attached. So basically, we said, even though we said in the previous year it's better when the larger, now it's 1.5. So he said separate half from this one. So this one would seem like complete. Mishneh Berurah number 10. For the advantage of the wholeness is to be preferred to for the purpose of the blessing, to the advantage of the size, as stated in the paragraph 1. So even if a bigger one loaf is cut and a smaller one is whole, so as we always say that Hashivas, like importance is lies on the whole, meaning not touched. Okay. So continue. So now we're going to go to Rima. So what does he say? One should not break off the piece to be eaten, following the blessing from the place where the loaf was stuck to the other loaf, since it looks as it is started loaf there, but should break off from the whole part of the loaf. So let's read the Mishneh Berurah, and then we're going to explain. So I'm not sure. I think no. Let's see. It doesn't matter what I think. So let's see Mishneh Berurah. It is only in the case of such a loaf, which is in fact whole loaf, and only appears to be started there where it was stuck to the other loaf. Okay, and on the stuck to the other loaf. Okay, we're going to explain that one must break off the piece to be eaten following the blessing from the whole side of the loaf in this view. So now we're talking about no, actually, rima as a gloss, it means like expansion, right? Continuation on the Shulchan Aruch. So Shulchan Aruch is saying, rima is saying as follows. So it was a whole loaf, right? And it was attached to it half of the loaf. What happened? Oh, he got kicked out.
Somebody dropped.
Okay, maybe he dropped. Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem.
And I have a question.
Okay, no, he's here.
Is all of these?
Okay, no problem. So let's okay. So we're all together now, Baruch Hashem. So let's try to understand what Rima is trying to say. So Rima is saying as follows: you have a whole loaf, you have a half loaf attached to it, right? So when we separate the half loaf to make this full loaf to make looks presentable. So this side where we separate it looks like it's broken. Maybe you broke by hand, and maybe little piece from the whole like fell off. Whatever, it does not look presentable. So Shulchan Aruch says, and Rima said, don't start to cut there, because it looks like it's already somebody cut there. So it looks like it's not whole. So basically start from another side when it's complete. That's what he's saying. Okay. Well, the loaf actually has been started, however, there is no need to be particular to break off the piece from the whole side of loaf, and it is sufficient if one cuts it off from the side of the loaf as required. Okay, so what are we trying to say? Let me read one more time and we're going to explain. But a loaf has actually been started. Okay, so now we're saying, okay, we're not talking about whole loaf. Here's a different situation. When it's not whole, like they already cut from that side. They cut a piece from that. So, okay, we have no choice. We made a blessing on that. When the loaf has actually been started, however, there is no need to be particular to break off the piece from the whole side of the loaf. And it is sufficient if one cuts it from the side of the from the side of the loaf as required in 167 gloss. Okay, so basically, if somebody already started this bread, right? They ate before. Let's say they ate Friday night. They cut two slices from this bread, so it's already not whole. Okay, what can you do? But that's the only challah that I have. So I'm going to make challah. I'm making a blessing on this challah, and I can even start from the piece that we started yesterday. There is no problem. There is no disrespect. But in case when it was complete roll, right, and they say you separate it from the side, and maybe that side that looks like somebody already tore a piece, so they say don't start from that side, and don't give this impression that it's already started loaf. So start from the side, from new side. Okay, just makes sense. Any questions, or we continue?
Yes, is
Okay.
all of it in regards to cutting bread on Shabbos?
I missed the beginning. Say it again. Is it what?
If all of these rules are applying only for Shabbos?
No. It's all in general. This is general rules, but all of them apply to Shabbos exactly.
But you
now we're talking in general. So our topic is to on what bread one should make a blessing, and we said the general rule. So there is 5 species of flour, right? So making in order, right, on order of purity, preference. And I'm going to find these 5 species right now. Let's see. I'm not going to find. So it's wheat and but I don't remember the right sequence. So it's wheat and spelt and rye and barley. 1 second. I'm not sure if I cannot find, but it's very interesting. Unfortunately, I cannot find the. I'm sure that we said even not one time, but somehow it's hiding from me. Okay, I don't know what is it, but basically these 5 species that we say the misoinus on them, right? So so they in the line of the preference, right? So we say first is wheat, of course. The wheat is the highest one, right? And then after, let's say, after we said that the flour is the same, after the species is the same, if one is this pure flour, right, sifted very good, like clean, and one is unpure flour. So it's a second level. And then we say after that, is it whole or not whole? Is it big or not big? So if it's a bigger, the challah is bigger, like one whole loaf and another whole loaf, right? So if it's a whole loaf and bigger than the small one, so you make it less on a big one. So if one is small but whole and big one is cut, so you make on a whole. So that's basically the idea. So of the preferences. And now we're going pure and impure. So now, but on Shabbos, well, how is the Shabbos different? There is only difference on Shabbos. The only difference on Shabbos is that we have obligation to have 2 loaves of bread or matzah, whatever we have, for all 3 meals. Have 3 meals on Shabbos. So you're not obligated to eat both loaves every time, but one loaf you're obligated to break. You understand? That's the only difference. But these rules apply universally.
But this is mesonot or HaMotzi?
No, this is HaMotzi. This is bread. We're not talking about cookies. No, not talking about cakes. We're not talking about this pasta or something. We're talking about bread. Baked.
Wasn't the bread that is sweet turned into mesonot?
Let's put it aside. I mean, if okay, so basic. I give you a basic answer. I mean, because it's a bigger discussion. So basically, if it was baked as a bread, as a challah, whatever bread, right, and you put there some sweet, it's still bread. It's not. It was not meant as a pastries. It was not meant as a cookies. So it's still bread. But in some, I'm still answering the question. So, but some people in Sephardic circle says if it's a little sweet, they would say mizanot. Don't ask me why. I'm not sure what is the rationale. I mean, if you eat it for as a bread for a meal, we said even if you're going to eat even cookies for the meal that much, and for it's going to be to make a mainstay of your meal. So you say HaMotzi anyway. So I'm not sure why they say it. Some people. I never verified that, but I heard from some of my students. That's what they say. Yes.
No, I thought Ashkenazi custom was to turn mesonot for sweet bread.
No, never. No. It was Sephardic. It was some Sephardic. No. Ashkenazi, so they add honey into the challah. They add raisins. They add the blueberry, whatever, dry blueberry, other things. I mean, of course it's sweet. I mean, it's not sweet as cake, but it's sweeter than regular bread. Let's put it this way. And we say HaMotzi, 100%. We don't say mizanot. Never.
So challah is always HaMotzi.
Always, because it is. So one of the definitions of bread, right, especially in the olden days, it was a main stain of your meal. So you have piece of bread, okay, if you have a glass of milk, you're going to have milk. If you don't, you're not going to have milk. But you have eggs, you eat eggs, you have vegetables, you eat vegetables, but always bread and whatever you're going to find to accommodate the bread. You understand? So the bread is the main food, and for satiation, of course. Me personally, if I don't eat bread or mizones, I'm going to get hungry. Go hungry. That doesn't matter. I eat all the vegetables, I still hungry. I eat a little bread, I'm good. Piece of bread or a little piece of mizones, I'm good. Okay. So, got it? Continue.
I have another question.
Okay.
Does making a blessing for a bread at the beginning of the day cover every other bread eaten during the day?
No. It's only we didn't get to it, but it's going to be a big subject. I just want to answer this in general. So subject is we're going to define definition of the meal, when it's going to start, and what interrupts the meal, right? And how long after the meal you can say blessings. So in general, I give you just general idea since you asked these questions. Later on, we were going to say there is some exception, there is some circumstances, but now in general, that's the rule, right? So you eat bread, right? So you eat bread, and you finish your meal, right? So it's proper to say HaMotzi right there. If you did not, for example, something that happened and you have to go this way and that way, so you have 72 minutes. That's a general rule to say blessing after this bread. Yeah. Okay. If you satiated, if you overate, let's say people overeat sometimes. So and you still after 72 minutes you're still not hungry, you still cannot breathe. So in this case, the sages say maybe you have a little more time. But 72 minutes, that's like a cutoff line, right? But okay. So if person ate a little snack, he had candy, he had one banana, apple, whatever he ate, a little snack, he's not full, right? I mean, but he ate. So it's proper to say the end in blessing right away. If not, according to many poskim, he has 30 minutes to say it after the fact. You understand? So, but that's all. There are some exceptions, but for sure, if he started, I don't want to go into the subject, but let's say he started drinking tea, right, in the kitchen, and then he went outside to get the mail, comes back, he has to make a new blessing on the tea. You understand? Because of the change of the locations. With the bread is not as much. So even he went out, he comes back, he went to the restroom, this room, that room, and he play on the computer, comes back. He does not have to repeat the blessing. He can continue eating, unless he touched some dirty area and has to make like wash his hands and say the blessing again. That's a different story. I give you only summary, but Be'Ezrat Hashem, we're going to learn this subject deep inside because it's very, very important to know. Because it applies to every day to our life. You understand? So basically, the answer to your question is no. And why people would say that is beyond me. Okay. So let's continue. And now let's try to do one more sieve. Sieve number 4. When one has a barley bread and spelt bread in front of him, so barley and spelt, so we understand it's not the highest quality, right? Actually, it's not true because recently my wife started adding like barley. No, not barley. I'm not sure. Barley and oats is the same thing. I think no, maybe not. No, barley and oats may be different. I don't know. So she started adding oats to the wheat bread. I think it's very good. It's much lighter and more, very tasty. Okay. So one more time. When one has barley bread and spelt bread in front of him, he should make the blessing of the barley bread, since the barley is one of the 7 species, right? for which the land of Israel is praised. Okay. There is no list, but okay, we're going to find where it's praised. Even though the spelt bread is superior in quality. Okay, so we go now as we said before in precedence of the list and not in the quality of bread. If one has in front of him bread baked from pure flour and bread baked from impure flour, he should make the blessing over the bread baked from pure flour. Okay. And if one has in front of him 2 loaves baked from the pure flour, and one of them is a whiter than the other, he should make the blessing on the white loaf. Okay, so basically, I don't know, maybe the second one is a little burnt, also possible. That's why it's not as white, right? But so basically make on the best available bread. So let's see from the beginning with commentary. When I say commentary, it's Mishneh Berurah. Okay, so from the beginning. When one has barley bread and spelt bread in front of him, he should make the blessing over the barley bread, since the barley is of the 7 species. Okay, so let's see commentary. Of the 7 species. Even though spelt is also regarded as being of the 7 species, since it is type of wheat, as stated in section 208, it is nevertheless not mentioned explicitly in the verse. Okay, which lists 7 species. Therefore, barley is more distinguished than the spelt. So our rabbis derived that the spelt is one of the species, but barley is listed there. So let's see. Maybe I'm going to find. Okay, so this verse, the note says Devarim 8:8. Okay, no problem. So okay, so one more time the whole sentence. When one has barley bread and spelt bread in front of him, he should make the blessing of the barley bread, since barley is one of the 7 species for which the land of Israel is praised. Okay, continue. Even though the spelt bread is superior in quality. Number 13, Mishneh Berurah. And he is founded of it. So it's superior quality. The spelt bread is superior and he likes it. Right, so it does not make any difference. We go by the halacha. For the advantage of being of the 7 species is preferred to the advantage of foundness. As we're going to learn in Halachos of Brochos in different books. So in some cases, right, when it is unresolved or you have choice on what to make the blessing, so whatever you like better, you make the choice. You make the blessing. Not always, but in some cases, I would say no, you're not. You decide. So it's basically it would be a personal preference. It is, however, stated there that there are authorities who maintain that the article one is founded has preference. Okay, so there people, not people, rabbis say that there is opinion, as a strong opinion, that whatever he likes better takes precedence. But we're going to go by like in the middle of the road opinion. The Maggid Avraham, according to that opinion, the ruling given there has that one should give the preference to the loaf which has been baked from one of the 7 species. Only applies when both loaves are equally desired by one. So Maggid Avraham in that section 211, okay, we're on 168. So he said that if he likes this spelt bread and barley bread, right? and so he has to make the blessing on the one of the from 7 species. Otherwise, according to Magid Abraham, he has to make he has to, or he can make the blessing or whatever he likes, meaning spelled. In the case of the spelt and rye, which are both are not mentioned explicitly in a verse. So this spelt and rye, I mean, since they're very like the wheat, right? From the wheat family, right? So that's how our sages derive it, but they not mentioned explicitly in the Torah, right? Spell the purpose of the blessing since the type of the wheat, and the wheat is mentioned in a verse before barley, right? So since the rye is closer to the wheat, right, and wheat is mentioned before barley in a Torah verse, so we say the first the blessing on the rye before the spelt. Interesting. As regards rye and oats, which are both types of barley, rye and barley. Okay, barley. Rye is to be preferred for the blessing, since one is found of rye. Right. So if you like rye, so let him make a blessing on rye. Okay, continue. If one has in front of him bread baked from a pure flour and baked from impure flour. So now that's what we discussed before, pure and impure. But in today's day, for impurity, you have to pay extra, as I said. It's very interesting. There is when both of the same species, right? Of course, we only compare this when they're comparable. Tur. For if the impure bread is of the more distinguished species than the pure bread, such as when it is a wheat, whereas the pure bread is of barley, right? Or the barley, whereas the pure bread is a spelt, the impure bread has a priority of the blessing. So in this case, again, we're going by the list given by the Torah, not by purity or impurity. Right? So even if it's a wheat is the highest one, right? And it has impurity, so it takes precedence of the spelt with absolutely pure. Okay, so continue with Shulchan Aruch. He should make the blessing over the bread baked from pure flour. Okay, so if he has pure and impure, but as the Mishneh Berurah clarifies for us, it must be of the same species, right? If not, the list take precedence. So if they're of the same species, the pure one takes precedence. Number 15, Mishneh Berurah. This applies even though the loaves baked from impure flour is larger, right, than the loaf baked from pure flour. So now they say it does not make any difference because purity takes precedence. Since the advantage of the purity is preferred, I mean, he likes the pure bread better, for the sake of the blessing of to the advantage of the size. So if from exactly the same species, but one is bigger, one is smaller, one is smaller is more pure than the bigger, so we make a blessing on a small. The Shulchan Aruch is referring to an instance when both loaves are alike. Okay, so here we go. Are alike in being whole or started. Okay, so if one is started, so that's a different story. Right? For if the impure bread is only one of two, which is whole, it has priority of being over the started pure loaf, as stated above in paragraph 1. So now different scenario. So now this pure loaf, right, is cut, is not whole, but impure loaf is still whole. So it has, in this case, Mishneh Berurah says it has priority over the pure flour loaf. Why? Because this one is impure, but whole. That was a pure but not whole. The rule that emerges from this paragraph is as follows. So Mishneh Berurah gives this summary. The advantage of the being of the seventh species has a precedence over all other advantages. I'm going to read again, right? I mean, we said it before, but it's very important to repeat. The advantage of the being of the seventh species has a precedence over all other advantages. Commentary: within the seventh species, whatever is mentioned early has precedence. Okay, as we said also before. So we go by that list. Okay, continue. After that comes the advantage of wholeness. So first in a list, right? Whoever is more important. Now, whatever is whole has a priority. After that, advantage of the purity, right? Purity has purity. So it's list. We go by the list. Then the wholeness. Then the purity. And after that, that advantage of size. Meaning if they both from the same species or both of the same size. So now, both whole, both this, but one is a bigger size, one is smaller size, so we go by size. Chaye Adam, right? As to advantage of foundness. So Chaye Adam, so it's a different pasuk. He said, so the last one is whatever one likes, right? So he has whatever he likes, he makes the blessing on that one. Okay, I think the time is up. Let me just check. Yeah, time is up, so we can stop here. If you have any questions, please go ahead. We continue.
I have one here. Is grace after meals mandatory even if one eats a meal made out of any other element than bread?
No. There is a separate blessings after the meal. So if he ate bread, and by bread we mean that he ate minimum kazayas. Minimum kazayas is 28 grams of bread, so minimum this. So he has to say the blessing after the meal, right? And everything that he ate during the meal is included in that birchas hamazon. Grace after birchas hamazon is grace after the meal. Grace after the meal. Okay. If he did not eat this 28 grams for whatever reason, he thought it's 28 grams, but it was a smaller piece. How he measured it was small. Let's say possible, right? So now all of this other food that he ate during this meal, they're not covered. And as soon as he realized that he did not eat, this piece of bread was not enough, basically, he has to make a separate blessing on all other foods. I don't want to make it too different, too complicated, but in order to be called meal, he has to eat bread of 28 grams. So it's a small piece. It's like I mean you have to wait, but it's very small piece. It depends on the bread. That's why I don't want to give examples. So some breads are puffy, has a lot of air, and some of bread like very tight, and it's like even small piece like this would be 28 grams, right? But other piece like I don't know, maybe this piece 28 grams. So it depends on the bread. Okay, so that's about birchas hamazon. So if one more time, if he did not eat these 28 grams, so he has to say appropriate blessings on the rest of the food. And now I'm going to explain about appropriate blessings. So the third category after birchas hamazon, right? So grace after the meal, there is they call the I don't know what was it called in English, like tertiary blessing, three blessings. They call three blessings. Why three blessings? We're going to explain. So there is one blessing that would cover all of the mizoines. He ate cake, he ate pasta, he ate cookies, crackers, all of these things, right? And he ate enough. Again, one is obligated to say this blessing if he ate 28 grams. If he ate less than 28 grams, for example, I'll give you an example. You ate candy. So after piece of candy, you're not going to say the blessing because it's too small. You understand? And it took you very long time to eat. Okay, I don't want to talk about time, but okay. So if he ate, for example, this mizon, this crackers, this piece of cake, 28 grams, so now he is obligated to say this longer blessing. And it has 3 parts, right? Second, and in this same blessing, we say for if he drank wine or grape juice. If it's wine or grape juice, he has to make this blessing, right? Same. It's in same blessing. He said like after the satiating things. I don't remember how it's called in English, right? And then he said after the wine, geffen, right? And then after the fruits. So these fruits is a fruits that the land of Israel is blessed with, right? Which is figs and dates and pomegranates, right? And grapes, right? So all of these fruits is a separate category. So for example, he ate crackers, he drank wine, and he ate figs. So he said in this blessing, he said thank you for these satiating things. Thank you for fruit of the wine, and thank you for the fruits. But fruits, when he said fruits, he means only these grapes or figs or pomegranate, all these things, right? And that's the second type of blessing. So you can check in your siddur, right? Must be in a siddur. And the third type of blessing, after he ate everything else that is not included above, right? So for example, he had the salad. He had just one tomato. He ate a banana. So for banana, we say borei nefashos. So it's very short blessing, 1 line, 2 lines, and you're done. You understand? So that's the laws of the blessings in a nutshell. But I'm planning to cover them in details.
So the scenario is a person eats 20 grams of mesanot type of food every 2 hours until the end of the day, and that's all. So he does not make any.
No, it's not ever. It's not even to 2 hours. I don't want to say it, but you, since you asked, so I'm answering. It's every 9 minutes. So whatever he eat in the first 9 minutes. So for example, he has 28 grams, right? But he ate, let's say 20 grams and another 20 grams after 9 minutes. So they're not connected. You understand? So he would not say the blessing after the meal in this case.
So at the end of the day, this person is not going to say the
not any other blessings.
So no.
I give this example. So the person drinks coffee. So he has a cup of coffee. So he can finish this coffee in 2 hours. So basically, he drank after all the said and done. He drank a required amount, but it was stretched over the long period of time. Too long to say the blessing. So basically, when we're talking about liquids, they recommend that you drink revi'is. Revi'is is approximately from different opinions, but I give you like several opinions. So one opinion is 86 grams, right, of liquid, and the more strict of Chazon Ish, I think it's almost 150 grams of liquid. So let's go by lenient opinion. Let's say for simplicity, let's say it's 90 grams. So this 90 grams, he to go according to all of the opinions, he has to finish in up to a minute, right? He said one sip, two sips. So basically, it's not a big deal. In 3 sips, even finish this 86 grams. It's not that much. You understand? But when we're talking about hot tea or hot coffee, you will not be able to. And people basically they do not enjoy to drink that much. With water, with juices, of course you can, but with hot beverages, basically it's not going to work. So, but there is still an opinion, and they say that not linear, different opinion, I would say, and they say you can finish in 9 minutes. So if you finish this amount, this 86 grams, let's say, in under the 9 minutes, so you would have to say the blessing. But according to all of the opinions, do it in 3 sips, and that's what basically we do. If you want to say blessing, according to all opinions, yeah, go ahead.
So there might be times when Birkas Hamazon is not recited at the end of the day.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, if he did not say it enough, or he, I give you the example. The wash the hands. He said the blessing. He intended to eat enough, and then he like break a little piece. Not enough, right? And then the phone call and this and that, and then that he forgot, and that's it. And then now he comes back to say Birchas Hamazon, and it's too late. He did not eat enough in a 9 minutes period of time. So let's say, or he has only one piece of bread. So he had with the interval, and that's it. It's not enough. Yeah, and in some cases we do not. We're not allowed to say Birchas Hamazon. So it's not your personal choice. You did not fulfill the condition in order to say Birchas Hamazon.
So now I'm thinking, what if a person is thinking not to say the grace after meal because it's too long for him?
Yes.
And so he is eating less than the 29 grams.
Yes.
Separated in every 9, 15.
Exactly. 9 minutes. Yes. Exactly.
What is a person that does that?
Exactly. He does not say you're right, but I would say it's Gemara. Where did you get this 28 grams? So 28 grams. It's not what Gemara says, of course. they say olive. So you, as you understand, the olives were huge. Olives were like huge, right? Or they compare it to olives. Or there is another opinion. I think it says that the half of the egg, half of the chicken egg, or 1/3 of the egg. So poskim disagree. That doesn't matter, right? So, but for us simple people, 28 grams, right? So, but the question is why they how they derive this 28 grams, right? How they derive this fig, right? Not fig, this olive size, right? So they say because it's a minimal portion that can satiate a person. So you can eat less than this to 25 grams all day long, every 9 minutes. You're not going to get satiated. You eat this 28 grams in one time, you're going to get satiated. That's why they instituted, if you ate this 28 grams, you must say the blessing. You ate apple, maybe you ate tomatoes, some like small tomatoes. So you ate 2-3 tomatoes and they're not 28 grams, right? So, and you do not say, but you still feel hungry, guaranteed. Especially with bread. I'm not talking about other food, but especially with bread. You want a satiation, and same with mizonos. You bless for satiation. So as I said, I can eat many things, but I would be hungry. I eat a little bread, a little mizonos, I'm good. You understand? And plus, that's what actually for stupid people. Smart people, it says if you want parnasa in your life, they say the best thing to say Birchas Hamazon. Me personally, I'm trying to say Birchas Hamazon every day. I would say divide one piece of bread is enough. So I do minimum, whatever is minimum necessary. I would do that minimum, a little more. I know I don't do me. I do like double size. I do kibbutz because when you do 54 grams, you can say the blessing on the washing of the hands. If you do less than this, you don't say the blessing on the washing of the hands. So, I mean, you still wash the hands, but without the blessing. So I want to say the blessing on the washing of the hands. That's what I do. It's a good thing for Parnasah to say the blessing of Birchas Hamzon. But people they rationalize, they don't want to because it's long. Because somebody told me, like he said, Rabbi, where would I get like at 30 minutes during the day? I said, where did you get the 30 minutes? Like, how did it have to 30 minutes? It tells me, like, from the question I learned, this person never said Birchas Hamazon. I said, never. I said, well, there is not enough text. If you want to say maybe 4 times or 5 times, 7 times, yeah, I would say, yeah, 30 minutes is a good testament. But if you want to say 1 time, I know 5 minutes, right? I know 6 minutes, 7 minutes, but 30 minutes? And especially after you say it many, many times, you know it's by heart. Of course, you try to slow yourself down, not to say very fast but by heart, but it does not, like, I don't know, 4 minutes, even normal. You understand? But not 30 minutes for sure. Okay, any other questions, or we stop here?
Only one thing before we finish.
Yes.
About if you can say several times the Birkas Hamazon a day.
No, only 1 time. It's only 1 time. There is a blessings. A name of Hashem, but not allowed. It's going to be in vain.
Oh,
but if you're going to eat multiple meals, you ate in the morning piece of bread, right? That's what your breakfast. And then 2 hours later, 1 hour later, you want to eat another piece of bread? Yes, absolutely. But it has to be separate meals. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right, so let's stop here. Any other questions?